traffic control.
Pretty simple stuff.
Yeah. Ready?
All right, you want to start?
And obviously over there.
You can sit wherever you want.
Okay.
He's been dying to take over that chair.
Retired. Okay.
All right, first on the agenda tonight is talking about employee recognition on April the 11th at 6:30. Something we do every year. I think we've got 2 employees that are coming up to that time frame. Don't ask me who because I don't know. But you know, they got those little little snacks and stuff just to give you guys all a heads up. But more of an effort. Second on here is the Planning Commission committee approval process. And Zach and I have been talking about it. The way that,
well, we just wanted to bring to council's attention that the way the ordinance was drafted is somewhat confusing and contradictory. The way that the ordinance is prepared is that the Planning Commission does the preliminary approval as well as the final approval under the process in the code. However, when you look at definitions, the definitions section of the code, it evidences that the council should be the ones making final approval. The official action of council of Latrobe taken on a preliminary approved land development plan after all considerations, yada, 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 yada. And it goes on to explain that that's done by council of Latrobe. However, when you look at the final, all the land development plans, the application process, it doesn't mention council at all. So what we were considering and what we were discussing was a way to clarify that process, maybe to redraft, or just to not really redraft the ordinance, but we can do a whole rewrite, or we can amend certain portions to make it clear that Planning Commission does the preliminary approval of the land development site plans, and that council would take final action on the final application, which in my experience is the way that it's done in a lot of municipalities.
I don't know anywhere where it's done differently, but because as electeds, you should have the final vote. I mean, the commission, the planning group is an advisory committee, and really, you all should have the final vote. So I'm surprised when we read that was the way it was set up, because I've never seen it anywhere else.
I thought that did come to council though, because we get various things that come.
My understanding is that it has been coming to council,
right.
And it's been coming to council essentially for the reason of we've always done it that way, so we've continued to do it. And this all came up because that was the way it was going to happen with the bank and their application. And I said, Ann, I've looked through the whole code and I don't see anywhere that it says specifically that council has the authority to issue the final approval, that it should be done by planning. And, everyone was kind of surprised when they heard that.
Yeah, I mean, it's been brought to you all more as a courtesy, but we need to make it more formal.
Okay.
Because it really should be a required vote from you all.
Right. I always thought it was, but...
Yeah, I was surprised too. I was surprised. I would have thought it would have been that way. I don't know why. Somewhere along the line it got
I think that in reading the definition section, it evidences an intent that council should have final approval, final say. And maybe it was just a drafting error when they were putting in who did the final approval, and maybe just no one really caught it because there had been a process, that had been followed anyway for a period of years.
Right. So I think if everyone's in agreement, we're going to look toward changing that. We have number 3 on the agenda.
Sorry, guys. Thank you. Sorry. I'm good.
Number 3 on the agenda is we're having a meeting with PennDOT regarding traffic lights and ramping. So I'm going to send out an email and see what kind of time schedule everybody can meet. Those who want to meet with PennDOT, basically what they're doing is they're going through and it's going to be in 2018. They're going to go through and replace all the traffic signals with new signals and new controllers. And then they're going to on 981 Main and Depot, they're going to replace the curb cuts. So they'll put all new handicap ramping in, and we can coordinate with them and have our side streets also done at the same time. So it'll be an opportunity to do, our handicap ramping is an old style, it's got a little bit of a gap, a little bit of like a 1-inch lip, that's not appropriate anymore. So it'll be a chance for us to kind of update our ramps to what they need to be anyway. And what's nice is we join with them, it's the economy of scale. While they're putting in this sidewalk, they can put in that one and, do it all at the same time, and you save some money. That's kind of FYI. I'll send out a banner, or send out an email about that. Number 4 is 2 banners across Ligonier Street. We did this last year. The Paglia Creekside Restaurant is asking for banners again. He actually canceled the program last year, but he's having, again, having a group coming in, and they're going to be inside the building, so they won't have any issue with them being outside making noise. They're actually going to be in the dog park area, so.
And those banners will only be up for a certain period.
Just for time, but we're charging them for putting them up and taking them down, and we're going to approve the banners because I think it's Miller Lite is the sponsor, and we just want to make sure that it's appropriate for, a good banner.
Rosie, there is a prohibition against commercial activities, essentially placing banners on public rights of way. However, as mayor, you have the authority to essentially waive that and accept it for a period of time.
We need to look at this too, but I just thought, because we're going to have to put this on the agenda for next week, or next meeting.
Report? All right, let's see, street sign and refuse recycling center. This is, it's in your packet. Obviously, this is for, we would like to do a dedication for Joe Bush. It'll be on the entrance coming into the transfer station.
Similar to what we did for Chief Dog.
Exactly, same thing. And you can see that I included the price, and it's very reasonable from the special lighting. They were very close to Joe also, and give us a little bit of a break. Okay. The next is the roadway lighting agreement, which I'm going to let Zach speak to.
PennDOT provided to us a roadway lighting agreement relative to the lights that are going to be installed on the bridge following construction. And it's essentially, for lack of a better term, a form agreement, where essentially they're going to be doing all of the improvements on the bridge. They'll be putting on the new lighting. There's going to be 6 lamp posts with LED light bulbs. And once everything's installed up to spec and is working, then they're essentially going to dedicate it to the city, and it would be the city's responsibility from that point forward to do the maintenance, periodic maintenance, including, it might be 5 years, something to that effect, putting in new light bulbs and paying for the electricity costs. The agreement did contain, because it's a form agreement, some provisions that I didn't think really should apply to the municipality. They requested that, and they used the term contractor as referring to us, further showing that it's really a contract that they use for everyone, that you have to have certain types of policies which really don't apply in the instance of the municipality. So we'd be looking to have those policy requirements be taken off the agreement. Not because we disagree with those sorts of policies, but it just doesn't apply to us.
And then if someone were to, wreck into one of those and take it out, we'd be responsible for replacing it too.
Yeah, we would have to
Yes, but
insure them.
you would have to insure them, correct?
Yeah.
But I do believe that they're going to be on the other side of the barrier, correct?
Yeah, that'd be hard to hit.
Yeah, I know.
But you're right, it's still hard to hit. I mean, insurance would be negative.
Or if it's not
Well,
involved.
yeah, that's what it is. We still would insure them. Give them a chance, somebody will try,
It's my understanding that this isn't something that needs to get signed right away, so we're going to contact the right people to try to get the contract changed before we would have a resolution approving it.
Yeah, they're not planning on starting until the fall, so we've got some time.
Okay.
And they're used to this. They use a boilerplate type contract, which doesn't really apply to anybody.
I have a question. I want to go back for a minute. When is PennDOT, and you may have said this before I commented, when are PennDOT planning on doing the new lights and the curb cuts?
That's not going to be until 2018.
Oh,
But I'm going to send out an email They have some dates they would like to meet and discuss. Anybody that's interested in sitting in.
2018.
Yeah. They actually were 2019, we've got them to move to 2018.
Why don't they do it while they're doing the,
I suggested that.
bridge? They're already here.
I said that while they were here, shutting down town anyway, they might as well do, we'll see, look at the, we can discuss that at the meeting.
It just makes sense, they're already here.
Yeah. They haven't been,
What's the matter?
We don't want that going on at the same time.
Well,
they
when they're
even-
done, I'm talking about.
they didn't even know that they were both in town. You know, PennDOT doesn't coordinate very well. But I shouldn't say that too loud. But anyway, they don't do a good job coordinating. All right, next is the paving plans for 2016. Now, I've put some things into the packet here. You can see the first page shows the cost of paving, which is, we have $140,000 in the budget. So you're not going to see too many roads get paved. But what Mike and I have talked about, and to go through the second page, is doing a seal coat with an abrasive overlay. Now, if you look at the roads, the rest of these pictures that are attached behind it, these roads can't be sealed. They're going to have a seal coat and an abrasive overlay because they're just too far gone. You can't go through and seal them. So, and if you don't seal them, they'll be gone next year. So what we've talked about is we have some prices on that second page that shows it's 1/3 the cost to do a seal coat and then put abrasive on. And then what we're doing the next day, go over with the street sweeper and clean it up. So you'd have that inconvenience of one day, as you're putting this stone tipping down.
And didn't you tell me that's what the state's doing a lot
Yeah.
of?
PennDOT, Babcock Boulevard in North Hills is a main thoroughfare with middle to small businesses, huge thoroughfare. And they paid that, and they did the same thing, seal coats and chip. That's what they're doing because it's cheaper. Now, the thing is with us is if we do some of these roads, and we spend $60,000 and then spend $80,000 on the paving, we can make these roads last 5 years. Hopefully, at some point in time, we can get to the point where we can start paving. But this also is a good base, also. So it'll provide a good base for down the road. I mean, it's going to be a matter of money. And right now, I think you've got a 50-year cycle on your roads.
Yeah, I mean, we're never gonna.
And if you continue to pave, you can see East First Avenue is half your budget. You just can't absorb that and get anywhere with it. Where if we do some of the seal coat and the abrasive, then that would allow us to kill some time. And we're not talking about obviously not the business area. We're talking about one of the residential areas.
Mike's back there being quiet.
Yes. I have a list that I made, and I don't know if it's in that packet. Basically, I was able to come up with about 14 streets for the price of $60,000. To get that the paving, I think I had 11 streets, and the cost to pave those were $360,562. So, I mean, we could save a lot, and just like Wayne was saying, we can, do it mainly in the residential areas, areas that are not prone to high traffic, and save the paving for now around the business district, places where, they see a lot of traffic, truck traffic, where we want to keep it, paved for now.
Yeah, we need to find a way to communicate to the residents of the street when their road is being done.
We will.
If they can,
We'll go door to door with a
stay
tag.
off of it as best they can, or keep it through traffic only until we can get through it the next day with the street sweeper.
Yes.
But we should probably maybe, when we have it ready, list the dates and streets and have them, published in the paper and
Yeah, and
on our website.
we can go door to door with some flyers.
Yeah, we can do
Okay.
that too.
But, and what Mike's done is, a lot of these streets are in the same area, which again is economy of scale because you don't have to reset up your equipment or anything, but, so basically it'll be one area that's gonna be.
And we would do that, Mike? Your guys would do that?
No, this would be actually bid out to, the cheapest company and everything to come in. The only thing that would exclude from the price is since we have a street sweeper, we'd be able to pick up all the loose chips and everything. All those chips that we would, save for following years, because you're going to be able to, keep a good majority of those chips.
Okay.
Now, the only other question, I mean, as far as the seal coat and the abrasive, but as far as the other questions is, you know, Mike put together a list of the paving streets. I don't know if council wants to have input on, you know, what streets you pave. I don't know whether, or do you want us to pick the worst roads? We, you know, you're gonna have about $80,000, so you can only pick 2 or 3 of the roads. I mean, even, I know like number 2 here is an alley between Depot. I know we don't pave alleys, but that alley is an alley used for business district. So, otherwise normally it wouldn't be included, but I don't know if there's any interest in the council looking at these streets and deciding, you know, what, up to 80,000, what did you want?
I mean, it's always been my opinion that the street department knows best.
Okay.
But, you know,
Well, I don't
certainly,
want anybody not to be
I
excluded.
certainly think if anybody has, you know, an opinion, they can talk to Mike.
The only thing I'm worried about, Rosie, is doing 14 streets with card chip. Why don't we do a couple and see how it is, and then go for it next year?
Well, the problem's going to be, Jack, is the fact that these roads aren't going to be here next year. I mean, if you look at the roads, they're going to be so far up.
And the fact, I guess the thing
And I
that,
understand your point,
yeah.
you know.
The other thing is, I mean, I guess because I know the state's doing so much of it, it's not like it's not been done before. You know,
Right.
it's not like we're trying something that no one's.
And we have the advantage over the city, like I said earlier, that we have the street sweeper which can clean it up. Biggest thing is chips, you know, and if the next day we can come there and clean it up, then all the loose aggregate is gone. And there's nothing there for people to complain about. So I mean, if we didn't have a street sweeper, I'd be less likely to be encouraging to do this. You know?
Most of the places where I've seen it, like out in the country and stuff, there is no street sweeper.
Right, you leave it here,
Or
yeah.
they just leave it there. But the fact that we're gonna have the sweeper come through the next day,
Right.
as long as people can, you know, try to stay off of it as best they can.
Yeah, go slow over it one day.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, like I said, I realize that it's changed, but the problem I have is we have a number of roads that aren't going to be here next year if we don't do something. And as Mike was saying, even if you, a classic example is, if you look at that parking lot over there by the bank, across the street here, they just sealed that. Look at how many cracks there are. Already it's starting to crack up. So if you don't put an abrasive over the seal, it's just going to crack back up again.
So you're throwing good money after bad.
Yeah, yeah, and you really hate, I mean, we don't have any money to throw away.
And then you said it makes a good base then for when they do pay,
Sure.
when we do pay that. Have you done this before?
Yes, yes. When I worked in Ligonier, that's all we did. All the streets in Ligonier were seal coated except for Main and 7-Eleven. They paved those. Usually on basis we would go through about a 7 to 10 year cycle on streets where we would start back up again, you know, seal coating them. We had some problems, you know, people were opposed of it just because of the chips, but if you drive slow, let the chip seat, you know, firmly on the asphalt, you know, the following day, depending upon the weather too, that's a key factor because sometimes you might not be able to sweep for at least another day, depending on if it's real hot. It's tough to play the role with the weather and seal coating, but if you plan ahead, have a couple days, have backup dates available, you shouldn't have any problem at all.
And earlier in the spring, I mean, or it's like, when is a good time to do
You know what, we've done it July.
It just seems like that's hot.
Yes, it's hot, but you also have to look at rain. You know, rain, you can't do it with any type of moisture of rain. So it's tough with picking the days, but it goes with anything else, even, you know, blacktopping too. You know, you don't want to do it in a torrential downpour. So, you know, that's the biggest thing is deciding on when to do it. But we had good luck anywhere from July to September doing it.
I think it's a way to stretch your money. I mean, it's just, again, if you look at these roads aren't going to be there next year.
Well, they're gonna be full of buckets.
That's all that's the lift, is what I mean. You know, water gets in there, ice forms, pulls it up, and now you've got, you know, an asphalt, instead of road that's all flat.
Put it on the agenda, we'll vote.
Okay. Okay, next and last on here is we have a request from Park and Rec to make Memorial Drive one way. And I guess if you remember, and it's 3 days meeting, but if you remember, there was a time period when the parking garage was not, was being built or operated, being built, I think it was. And Memorial was made one way with parallel or angled parking on Memorial. That's what they're asking to do again. You know, it's up to council. My only concern is that, you know, when you talk to Banana Split, you talk all these different events, there's so much going on that those streets are crazy as it is on two-way.
Yeah, is there a way to do like a traffic study to
Well,
identify that kind of information?
that's going to cost money. I don't know who we could even get to do it, but I talked to Craig. I'd rather wait until the deck's in place and see what happens, because it was a disaster when we did it last time. Because if you think about it, you have to go so far out of your way just to get around the block when you do that.
Sure.
And this whole concept, I mean, you've got the stadium parking lot on both sides. I mean, I'm not exactly sure, I can't remember exactly where the deck's going to be, but it's either going to be close to the, you have the picture there?
Yeah.
Is it going to be close to the I'm terrible
I
with these
understand.
things.
I believe it's going to be in here.
So,
From what I
as a
understand.
playground?
Yeah, it's going to be, I'm sorry, back this way. It's going to be on right this area here.
Right where they play t-ball right now.
So, I mean, so they can park by the tennis courts in that?
They can park, I mean, anywhere they want to walk to, they can park.
I mean, in the stadium parking lot there, I mean, I understand there's gonna be a drop off. You know, people are just gonna have to walk. They walk now, and not everybody can park on Cedar Street.
And the other issue with that angled parking is then people backing up right directly into the traffic
Sure.
line.
Mhm.
And kids, tons of kids walking around.
Sure.
I think it causes more havoc than not. Like, let's just walk.
Huge parking lot.
Everybody's safe.
Behind the stadium,
People
yeah.
get there. Not
Yeah, I mean, I think what their concern was that people don't like to walk.
Are you signing up for parks and rec exercising? Just saying.
I'm just telling you what the, you know, here.
I don't think it'll deter it.
I don't think it'll deter anybody either. I
They
mean,
wanna play.
where are you gonna go where you can just, I mean, there's nowhere you can go and just park and walk 5 steps and be there. So, but, yeah, valet service.
It's a valet down
But I
there.
think I think they're planning on like a drop off, so with kids, they can drop the kids off with their equipment, or, you know, and then go park. So,
They've managed up on a busy street by shopping day without one there.
Well, that's what I think they want to mimic. I mean, it's almost the same concept up there as what they want down here. They can park all along that strip, you know what I mean, which is right on top of the ring.
we're gonna have
They park
to,
on there. They do that for t-ball. They park on both sides of that street.
Yeah.
But it's
And then you're
fine.
not backing out.
But that's, they're backing up in that lane right there. So that's it.
I just think we gotta wait till the deck's in and we can monitor the traffic and we can decide if something needs to be done after the fact.
Let them deal with it the way it is for right now.
Yeah.
People just have to park and walk. I mean, it's not that far.
I'd rather see Irving Avenue from Memorial to Jefferson one way. That's a nightmare when anything's going on down below.
Well, I'll let Park and Rec know that right now, we're just gonna wait and see, you know, what traffic looks like after it's built.
And let Jim and Chief and those guys take a look at it and make
Yeah.
recommendations if it's a problem.
Okay.
And if we have to post some signage down there for a while, if there's issues, you know, we'll wait and see what happens.
That's it for my list.
Zach, did you look at that thing I gave you?
Briefly.
Because they want us to vote on it next time. If you want to, you can share it. If you want. I just got this letter.
Yeah, we talked about when we talked about the banners, we talked about this code section. It essentially says no person shall use any use of streets or public alleys in Latrobe for the conduct of any commercial or business activity. that is normally conducted upon private property, including but not limited to, etc. We received the correspondence from an attorney representing a client who operates what appears to be a food truck, who asked that he be granted a waiver under that same ordinance provision, allowing him to operate the local 724 Cruise and Cuisine truck on West 2nd Ave on Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Essentially, he wants to operate the truck as, giving people, offering lunch options. My only concern is that the special events waivers section, which he's requesting a waiver through, states the mayor shall have the authority to waive the provisions of section 85-2 for special events. Such waivers shall continue only for the duration of the event. The way that that's written, I don't think embodies what he's requesting an exception to do. A special event to me means something that's a one-time event, maybe on an
Right,
annual
it has a
basis.
beginning and an end.
Such as, a concert series, a craft show, something like that. A regular Tuesday and Wednesday event does not appear to be a special event for me.
And it's up by the hospital.
Yeah.
The hospital's asked us, they've complained about him being there, that's why we made him move. So that's another something else to factor in.
Well,
Oh, because of their cafeteria.
Well, yeah, the security called me, and they said that he didn't say why, but I'm assuming it's why.
Well, the other reason too is that the roads are designed for allowing people to travel, especially emergency vehicles, such as near a hospital. And him being in a big truck on the street corner during the daytime hours is going to obstruct that. I mean,
Well, that makes me wonder too. I've been thinking about this, and I never think about it when I'm here, but I think about it when I'm driving out Lloyd Avenue on the weekend. See that guy selling hoagies out there? Is he allowed to do that?
Is he on private property?
Yeah,
Is he?
yeah, K-Cast.
If he's on private property, as long as he has the owner's permission.
Yeah, I don't know if he ever got permission.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm saying, as long as it's on private property, and we assume he
I don't
has
know if he
permission. But the hospital was complaining about this gentleman, not because of the food, I mean, everything was fine. Their complaint was the fact that they were getting complaints from employees about him being there, and probably because of competition. And, and his point is, if this guy gets something that makes people sick, where's the liability, blah, blah, blah,
my concern is that I don't know if the ordinance as drafted permits you to grant an extension in this case because it does not appear to be a special event.
Can you answer that letter then?
Yes, I'm
That
happy
way?
to do that, yeah.
Anything else?
That's it, I'm done.
Anybody else? Do you have anything? Anything you want? No? You don't want an extra couple days off school? Not that we can do that.
Yeah.
They're on board.
All right,
I'll give you some work at the time.
see you in a couple of weeks.
See you.
And we're-